Blog Talk Radio.
Of course I thought about it. I mean, who wouldn't? Let's face it, you're what they call a hell of a catch. How come a man like you never got married?
Do you really want to know?
I don't know how this happened. It's like he can read my mind or something.
I'm here with the author of Night Machine, Heavey. Kia, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
So let's let the listeners know a little bit about your background. Where are you from?
I grew up in the suburbs outside of New York City. You can get on the train here, and it takes about 40 minutes to get into Manhattan. But I always did live in the suburbs, so I'm not a city person particularly. And what else? I don't know.
What's your background as far as writing goes?
That has always been a hobby. When I was a child, my mother was always writing too, so she set an example that way. Whenever she had free time, I remember her typing away. So naturally, I started doing it as a kid. And I am a creative person. That's how I earn my living professionally too. So I always have a surplus of creative ideas, and writing is an excellent outlet. When I got married and had kids, I was more housebound, of course, with small children, and writing came to the forefront again as a creative outlet for me.
What are some of your favorite books?
Well, one of my favorite books of all time is called Nemesis, and it was by Joyce Carol Oates, but she used to write under a pen name, Rosamund Smith. She would write these kind of creepy stories, thrillers. And Nemesis, I just thought was a beautiful book. As I say, it's out of print now, but you can still find them on the Internet sometimes. And just the way she wrote it, the voice she used, and the sort of atmospheric spell she wove, I just thought it was wonderful. So when I was writing Night Machines, I actually read that book all the time so that I could keep that voice fresh in my mind and try to write in the same way. So that was one of my favorite books for tone and manner. In general, I really do like thrillers. I really love Andrew Clavin and, I don't know, similar books like that. I read a lot of independently published books as well. That's probably my favorite thing these days because that's where all the fresh ideas are, indie authors. And some of my favorite indie books are Full Asylum by Michael Eisenberg, and I also love a book called Amy Lynn by Jack July. Those are great books. I really recommend them.
Can you tell me a little bit about the plot of Night Machines?
Yeah, Night Machines is about a married mother with two little kids, and she's happily married. Her husband is a police detective. He gets placed on a really disturbing case, and so he begins to withdraw emotionally. At the same time, Maggie, the wife, has been thinking about going back to work as her toddlers are starting to get a little older. So she gets a job in a pharmaceutical company nearby and winds up having a crush on her boss, which is, normal. That can happen. Not that she has any intention of straying from her marriage, but her boss flirts back with her, and then one night she has this incredibly sensuous dream about him and wakes up the next morning thinking, well, I guess I could let off some of this romantic stress by just having an imaginary affair with him. It's not going to be a real affair, so what's the harm? It's not really cheating. So that is the premise, and, of course, there are problems with it. So it kind of spins out of control on her.
Well, the readers should find that out soon enough. Do you have any other news stories coming down the line?
I'm actually in the process of releasing a new book. This one is aimed at a young adult audience. It's called Underlake, and it's mainly for teenage girls. And let me see, I guess it's similar to Night Machines in that it reads like realistic fiction, but once you get into the story, you realize there's also a supernatural element to it. But it's an ordinary character in an otherwise ordinary situation.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Could you tell people where they can find your book?
I publish through Amazon. I love them. I just love that company. I love all the innovations they brought to the market, they continue to bring to the market. I think they've done so much to open up the world of fiction to readers and writers that I just can't say enough good things about them. So I publish through Amazon. You can go to Amazon.com, and my books are available in paperback and Kindle ebook.
All right. Everybody, please go to KiaHeavey.com. Thanks again, and I wish you the best of luck.
Well, thank you for everything you do, and I mean it. You're really a good friend to have and a huge help to a lot of independent authors. Thanks, Robert.
Not a problem.
Of course I thought about it. I mean, who wouldn't? Let's face it, you're what they call a hell of a catch. How come a man like you never got married?
Do you really want to know?